Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. And it's a wonderful week for the Pirate Broadcast, and I wanted to invite you to join the pirate community, get involved, get engaged, get in contact with the pirates that are here, and make those connections, make those introductions, relate to each other, and start the conversation, because the pirate community is growing, it's evolving, and there's a lot of people that have a lot of talent that want to share it with you. And, you know, one of the things that we love to do is interview interesting people doing interesting things. Damn interesting people, as Corey would say.
I'm going to correct you on that one. I'm damn interesting.
Damn interesting. And so today I'm going to be talking to a good friend from Houston. He's been in business world. He's been accounting. He's been a mentor. He's been a coach of mine. He's been just an amazing individual that's been in my life. And I just wanted to share him with the pirate community and bring him into the pirate status today. So Corey, good morning. How are you doing, my friend?
Good morning, Russ. Thanks for the invitation. Looking forward to this.
Well, you know, it's one of those things that I've been doing it for a couple of hundred episodes, plus, and I just wanted to, we reconnected. We had, when I was in Houston, we used to get together and stuff like that, and then we went back and forth. And we have mutual friends, and Bill was on a call or something. You were having a conversation with Bill, and then you reached out to me with this video project, and I thought, I got to reach out to Corey and talk to him about what's going on. And some of the things that we had, we always have a great conversation. And I just thought, well, I'd take 30 minutes and engage in a conversation with you, and we can talk about business and growth and meetings and memberships and communities and all of the things that we're looking at and you're involved in. So I just wanted to share you with the community and give you a high five for all the work that you're doing in the Consortium. And I want to work backwards, because you've been in business a long time. You've been a software developer, building teams and products and putting things together. So give us an update on what you're doing right now that's bringing you some excitement in your world.
Well, the latest thing I've been working on is this concept called Business Ease. It's a new business I've created, and it's about the language of business. And here's a problem it solves. We as technologists really struggle with communicating to our prospective clients in plain business English. And the problem is that we are extremely rational, engineer type thinking people. And so we start listing off all the features and functions and things that are great about what we do that differentiate us. But the reality is our customer doesn't understand us or doesn't really care, because what our customer really wants is their problem solved, not what great things we can do. Let me give you a specific example. I thought I was in the software business. Custom Business Software is the name of the company. And, just for that, because we build custom software for business, right? But the reality, you think about it, customers don't want software. They want the outcome that software will produce. So Business Ease is a methodology I created on 6 questions. They're first principle questions. What business are you in? I'm in the outcome of making your business faster business. And these 6 questions then get you clear on your message in plain business English in a language your customer can understand, so that they can then decide whether you're a good fit and vice versa. So that's what I've been up to lately.
Well, I love that. And we had an extended conversation last week about this subject, because a lot of business owners, and myself included, I've been guilty of this so many times, is we start talking about the features and the functionality, and we talk about, how great it is and everything else. And we seldom, or we often forget that there's an outcome that a business owner would like to achieve. And sometimes it's, a website that is crystal clear and tells a story and immediately allows the visitor to understand what the business does. Or it might be better proposals for their business goals, and or it might be lead generation, where how can I have more conversations with the right people at the correct time? And these outcomes are the primary goal. And often as the business owner or the creator, because we talk about the creative process is that I can look how I draw my picture rather than, isn't this a great piece of art, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And so it's like, we have to kind of turn it around and think about it from another perspective and say, what is it that we have to generate in terms of language or messaging or great questions that allow us to get to the source of the goal, which is the outcome. So business ease is the process that you've developed for your business, and helping other business owners clarify their products and services in a way that makes sense.
Exactly.
So what's the process?
Sorry?
What's the process that you use?
Well, I mentioned these 6 questions, and they're based on the traditional problem-solving questions or journalistic questions of the 6 W's: who, what, why, when, why, and how. I know how it starts with an H. It's got a W on the end. It's just an easy way to remember it, right? But these 6 questions aren't about you, the trusted advisor. They're about your customer. What business are you in? What outcome you're trying to create? Why? What's your purpose? Understanding your purpose, what you're doing, whether you're Apple or Microsoft, whether you want to think differently or be highly technical, is 2 different audiences. So understanding your why, your purpose is important. And those 6 questions are what to do. Now the problem is that if you try to do it yourself, I found it's really hard to do. You need someone on the outside, because it's like being a fish in a fishbowl. You cannot, or I think you mentioned one metaphor of
I'm the pickle in the pickle jar. I can't read the labels.
Label on the pickle jar if you're inside the pickle jar. And a different perspective, someone walking you through it, asking these questions. I'll give you a really good example of that. I use a method called your 3-year-old son of understanding the why. Remember, if you're around a 3-year-old, they're going to ask why. And then once you answer, they ask why again. And you keep peeling that onion, and you finally get down to what is your real purpose and meaning and why you're doing this. Because when you get that clear, then your message gets clear to who you're trying to reach.
And it's amazing how you unpack that. We went through a brief exercise, and I know it's not extensive. However, even our conversation that we had last week, I unpacked a few things that's like, oh yeah, I totally get this. And one of the things that I think would be valuable to share with the pirate community is that you're doing this for other business owners. You're coaching these business owners through the process and in engaging the business owner in a conversation about business improvement overall. And it's not just necessarily the messaging, but it's deeper than that. I mean, you've been in business a long time. You've been doing a lot of different projects. You've been involved in large organizations and, the entrepreneurial space for a few days. Like I say, it's like, I'm not old, I'm vintage. So, and it's one of those processes that you've honed over the years. So if you're looking for business support and some assistance in your business and growth and process improvement, accountability, and some of these things that go along with that growth, talk to Corey, connect with Corey. Corey's on LinkedIn. You can reach out, you can connect with Corey and tell him Russ sent you, so he knows where you are coming from, and make that connection, make that conversation and take place.
Yeah, just to reinforce that, I'm very accessible.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I'm easy to find and easy to get a hold of.
Yeah, and also I introduced Corey to Dub, so I'm working on with his Dub skills. So he's adopted Dub, and I love Dub. one of my favorite tools. So
yeah, I've drunk the Kool-Aid. It's a very cool tool, and you'll see more of that.
So tell us about, I want to shift gears a little bit, Corey, and talk a little bit about the consortium, because that's a cool idea that I think needs to be shared with the pirate community as well.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's counterintuitive, because what it is, your competitors are in the room. Consortium Partners is a group of about 40 business leaders in technology where we get together socially. Now, pre-COVID, it was dinner and drinks once a month in Houston, Seattle, and Los Angeles. And now we're doing it over Zoom. Hopefully we'll get back to that when we can.
Right.
But what we end up doing is just getting to know each other socially, and then referring business among ourselves. And what's unique about it is, since we're all in the same industry, I will find another software developer in the room. In fact, the origin story is about me and my competitor going to Costa Rica, and the idea coming out of that journey together that created the consortium.
Yeah.
And millions of dollars, no exaggeration, millions of dollars have been referred among ourselves in the past 3 years. We've been around since July of 2017. And so what goes on is we just kind of socialize and get to know each other. And when we get to know each other, then we become top of mind. And the fact we're all in the same industry together, as, for example, my case, a software developer, a cybersecurity, managed IT, we know about that technology because we're in the same industry together. In contrast to, say, for example, if you got a CPA and an attorney, they don't know anything about software, nor may a software developer know debits or credits, from an accounting perspective.
Right.
We understand each other's business really well. So we are very acute at listening on other people's behalfs. And we've been able to cobble together some things that have happened, ideas we've had where we needed support from someone else in the consortium, and all just getting together over dinner and drinks.
Yeah. A bunch of damn interesting people, as I remember.
Exactly. In fact, one of the things you have to do when you go into the event is be prepared, because kind of the icebreaker in the room is, what damn interesting things have you done in the past 30 days? And crazy things going on. One guy is raising chickens in downtown Houston in his backyard, and the other one hiking the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu. It's just some really cool, damn interesting stuff.
Well, and I've met a few, so I really get excited for what you're doing, and I encourage you to continue that. And we've had conversation, potentially in Phoenix, this has taken place. I know that we've had those conversations in the past, that it just, the timing or whatever reason, it just didn't take off. And so, time and attention has a lot to do with it. And I think that as we have conversations, you and I, Corey, I think that this will probably evolve into the next level, because I don't know when the pandemic is gonna, it's going to evolve. It's going to take a while. I don't see it going away overnight or anything like that. I don't see normal coming back. I see it as evolving and staging in different phases, as we go through this process. And we still have to do business. I mean, we still have business to take care of. We still have people to support. We still have our communities to build up with. And one of the things that I think is the thread through all of it is maintain your relationships, maintain the conversation, reach out and talk to people, and just say hi. Just let them know that you're here. It's not a big deal. It's like, you don't have to have an agenda or a ulterior motive when you're having a conversation. You can just have a conversation for the reason of checking in with somebody.
Yeah, we had our Houston chapter meeting last night, and that was the feedback I got from there. Is what they look forward to is at least getting together and checking in and having some fun among their friends and staying connected. That keeps people top of mind, and it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, that's why I have mastermind groups. The same thing. It's like, because realistically, a lot of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs or freelancers or people that are working remotely right now, they still need and desire and want the connection that we have in place. It's one of those things that we want to develop that connection. We want to grow that connection. So it's important for us to maintain the conversation and reach out. And sometimes it's hard. I like the term you used, the pull out the sofa moment. It's like I just want to pull the sofa out for a minute and just take a break, put it on pause, and say, okay, I'm going to take a day off. And realistically, when you get motivated and you get engaged and energized, it's not that difficult, and it only takes a moment. So I encourage you to reach out to somebody today. Reach out to somebody today. Here's the challenge: reach out to somebody today and let them know you're thinking about them. So simple.
So if anybody wants to meet some damn interesting folks, you can see Consortium Partners. Just Google that. There's a contact us page on there. Reach out to me, and we can set up a Zoom call. We talk about it with you individually, and if it's a fit, great. If it's not, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, no kidding. And all of these notes and messages and all of the things we talk about in this show will be placed in the post at russjohns.com afterwards. The stream, the podcast, the transcription, all of the links will be included. So don't worry, you have access to Corey going forward. So Corey, Houston's been, I enjoy Houston. My son still lives there, and I get back when I can, and it's really, I survived Harvey, one of those things, it's one of those things that there's so much going on in Houston all the time. It seems like, how has it changed recently over the last 6 months? Is it shut down a little bit more, or is it a little collapsed, or what's happening in Houston?
Well, Texas has statistically been a concern around COVID. In my personal situation, I have hunkered down, and so I really don't know what's going on very much, and I've chosen to distance myself as much as possible. I get out, as you and I have done in the past, Russ, walking Memorial Park. I continue to do that a lot, so that's how I get out.
Yeah,
100% of my interaction with folks is like this through virtual, and so I really don't have a whole lot of visibility. I go to the grocery store once a week, and that's about it. But I would say that we've been hit by and trying to fix the situation here in Texas and Houston, and so you're not seeing a lot of people out and about now, and I'm hoping that will continue until we get this under control. I think the nation is that way, and so I think I'm pretty much the way most people are.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in a lot of what we do, we can do that. I've been working virtually since 20 years for sure.
Yeah.
For me, so I do miss getting together face to face. But and I will do it on an individual basis if we keep distance. So I've got a walk planned this evening, for example. But I'm right now. I'm not going to get together with folks.
It's crazy. I imagine that Houston traffic is a little lighter than normal, so it's.
No kidding. It's great. I had to go to a doctor's appointment, and at probably the worst time, rush hour, and it was a breeze. That's great. And I hope it stay that way, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it can stay that way for a while. Hey, I wanted to give a shout out to some of the pirates in the room. They're doing some great work here. So I want to say hi to Angie. Angie's here today. She's from Wisconsin. She's doing some great work. She's always an awesome supporter and contributor to the community. And so we got Julius in the room. He's saying hi. Lewis is saying hi. Good morning. Julius says, I'm down here, founder of Health Advisory Today, open to connect and sharing ideas. So the extension is there, Julius. Thank you so much for being here. I just want to keep things going. Kathy Spooner, an avid supporter. Kathy, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. All the gratitude in the world. We've got Wendy. Wendy sent me a text message. She goes, "Do you know any developers?" It's like, just so happens. Good morning, Pirates. As much as I like experience is helpful in our growth, the best opportunities for us to come through people who are so different than we are, but have a willing soul and a curious mind. Absolutely. You know, the diversity does create a great conversation. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
Corey?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wendy's a charm. She's she's a movie producer. We got some things going on, and it's interesting to me. In fact, Wendy and I met. She was doing. She was flying through, so we met in the airport as she was passing. She had a layover, and so we connected. We had never met each other, but the power of what we can do today is amazing, and the fact that we can actually connect with people all around the world, and we can actually engage with people and have conversations started over a video session is always amazing to me. It's always a way to get the conversation started and meet new people and introduce yourself to ideas that other people are sharing. So
Yeah,
I appreciate the fact that you're here today, Corey.
And people love to connect. So take the initiative and start the conversation and see what happens. It's amazing where that'll take you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know you know how people
I get that. But all I'm saying is for all of you out there in the pirate community, start a conversation.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
So what's the next adventure for you in the next 6 months, 18 months with the consortium and the business ease, and what are your goals? What are your mission? What can we do to help you?
So this is experimental, this business ease. And I just started it about a month ago. So I'm playing around with that. It includes part of that is developing new skills that I didn't have, for example, artistic skills. So I'm messing around with Adobe Suite, including Illustrator and After Effects and that sort of thing. So I'm looking forward to exercising the right side of the brain. And I'm also getting into the reason you and I reconnected was I'm interested in video and how that can help. And what I want to do is raise the production quality of video, because it's more than just a talking head, and I don't know what it is, but it's got to be more than that, and it has to add value. So that's where I'm trying to go. So if anybody has any ideas around how to do that, I'm a very good coach. I'm sorry, I want to say I'm very coachable. I'm a very good student.
Great student.
Yeah. So if anybody's got ideas on how to do that, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the direction I want to go on this thing. On the personal level, as you know, Russ, I used to do a lot of gallivanting. I've stepped down for the moment, unfortunately, until travel is a little bit more less risky.
Yeah.
But I really miss that. And so my only way around that is I'm trying to do as many trails as I can in Houston to keep the exercise up. And there's plenty of interesting things to see around here.
Oh, yeah. You're still playing the piano, right?
Yeah. And I'm still taking jazz improv lessons. And so, that's interesting. I love learning new things. So a dozen years ago, I learned to play the piano, and now I'm at the point where I'm doing improv in jazz and Latin jazz, bossa nova specifically. But just recently, I resurrected art. So our kids put my wife and I, Gladys, into an art class virtually. I had done it about 25 years ago and had to put it aside because of life, raising family and kids.
Sure.
Good at all. But I got fairly good back then, and now this class got it started. And then talked to another friend of mine whose wife does Zoom art classes. So I surprised my bride of 36 years for a preemptive wedding anniversary of art classes. So now we're into that, and so I'm, you've seen those figurines where wood figurines. I'm starting to try to get really good at that and have action and good value and good lines and all that, and good shapes. So it's a new hobby which I've got that I'm adding to.
A new dimension in Corey's life.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I haven't picked up a brush for, I don't know, decades. So.
Oh, I didn't. You were also into art.
I was at one time. Then I folded more into the music side. So I went into music more than art. So it's like.
And what instrument do you play?
Well, I played drums for years, and now I'm doing electronic music after I broke my arm. So it's one of those things that I just like to create. In fact, my goal, I'd like to have a show where I talk and narrate about storytelling with music that I had created, so sound effects and Foley and some,
I have the same interest. So, so we should talk offline about that, Russ, because I've got I put together a jazz band before COVID, a couple years ago, of folks our age that had learned late in life how to play an instrument, and so got that going on through a bunch of my friends. And I too, as I was trying to increase the production quality of this video, thought, well, why don't I lay down a track of my own art, my own music, using a DAW, a digital audio workstation, and that sort of thing, to be able to create something. And so a tune that's going on in my head that I'm playing around with is Take 5, which is 5/4, as you know, but doing it using a 12 bars blues. So 1-4-1, 5-4-1 pattern as the bass line underneath 5/4, and using an improvisation of Take 5 improvisation on top of that. So
I like that
right now.
I like that. That's the thing is if you could just reach out of your fingertips and know what your brain is attempting to communicate, it would be so much easier. It's like, Leo, plug me in, teach me how to play it immediately. It's like I have a melody that I want to get out to the world. Yeah.
I will say though that the journey is also fun too.
The journey is a blast.
Yeah,
it's a blast. Just like the Pirate Broadcast, this was an idea that I started because I wanted to let people know that you have an opportunity. You're the media. You have a way that you can actually add value to the world, add a legacy, and share that information. And it's by creating your content, sharing it out with the world, and being in a position to help others along their journey. Because we all have experience, Corey. We all have some experience that somebody else is interested in learning more about. And it's like, okay, I don't have to learn everything from zero. I can ask somebody that has some business experience and get coached by businesses to be able to pull that back and not run into the brick wall and know what's around the corner and not be the pickle in the jar that can't read the label. So this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, Corey, to join the pirate community and the Pirate Broadcast. And so thank you so much for doing that. Any last words of wisdom that you want to leave with the world?
I'm very grateful for the invitation and looking forward to learning. Learning is a lifelong endeavor. So I would, continue doing that in life, in all dimensions of life, whether that's, your hobbies or your avocation, your business, what have you. And you'll be amazed at what shows up.
Yeah. Wendy suggested that, she said, I made sure we got a long layover, no accidents, connect face to face and magic happens. So true.
Very cool.
Well, thank you, Corey. I really appreciate you. And pirates, please like, comment, and share this content. share Corey with the world. Let people know that he's around and available to connect. Reach out to somebody today because it's the right thing to do. You never know what's going on with people in their world, and it's nice to be able to reach out and connect and say, just checking in. Love to hear from you. And also reach out to Corey. All of the links, the connections, the things we talked about today will be in the post later today. So I'll share that out on LinkedIn. And also you can connect with us on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and on the podcast, where all great podcasts are available. So, and Corey, thank you so much. And as everybody knows, kindness is cool. Smiles are free. And you enjoy the day. Don't go away, Corey.
All right, amigo. Very good.
Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.